and welcome to Marketing Margaritas. This is a soundbite episode, so it's one of our shorty ones, and hopefully I don't go on for too long, even though I absolutely love this topic. So today I'm going to be talking about my favorite new business system that I made up, but I absolutely love. And please excuse the remote in my hand. We just got a teleprompter, so playing with that, very excited. No notes in front of me anymore, we're very schmick now. So today, like I said, talking about this new business system. So for me, business planning is really important. I absolutely love doing it, but it obviously is really important because if you don't know where you're going, then you can't get there. And even though, plans never go exactly to plan, there's always things that'll go awry and change course, and not just things that necessarily go off track, but sometimes new, better options and ideas will come up as well. But again, when you actually do that planning process and check in on it regularly and do it every year, etc., you will find that you'll move towards what you want to achieve rather than just be treading water or doing the same thing year in, year out, which I guess for some people is fine. I think if you're doing the same thing over and over again, I can't live like that. So to me, part of having a business is that you do get to experiment and try different things. So when you do your planning, like I said, that part's important, but next comes execution. And this is where it's so easy to get bogged down in the day-to-day and forget your bigger picture ideas and goals and plans. So today I'm going to really quickly, simply break down for you my system for staying on track with my business plan. Okay, so I'm just going to speed up my little thing here. All right, so first of all, I have a folder for all of our strategy stuff. So we have our server, our client work, our admin stuff. We have a management folder that is just for myself and the studio coordinator. And in that is a folder called strategy. And then it's broken down into years. And so any documents related to the strategy, planning, anything I'm working out, etc., that we're working on, so it always goes into that year's folder. Just all the files, just to keep it really nice and clean and simple. And I can jump back in and out each year, especially when some things are named sort of similar. It just keeps it really clean. So first of all, I have my overarching strategy, which for us, I do a 3-year strategy. And this is just in a simple Word doc. So it covers off on our purpose. So why do we exist? What are we here to achieve? Then it's our portfolio. So what's the market doing? So that's our industry, the environment that we operate in, and as well as our clients as well. Then we look at our product. So what is it that we're offering? What is our service offering, our product offering that we're providing to people? Then we look at people, so who in the team that we have, and I also pop suppliers in here as well. And then we look at profit, so how are we going to make it financially viable and profitable? And then lastly is the plan. So they're all the sections that get covered off in that overarching strategy, and the plan is basically the goals for those 3 years. Then I have the business plan for the year. So from that strategy, I use OneNote, which is Microsoft 365 product, and for each of the goals that I have in the strategy, I then put them into the plan. They each have their own section, and I pick 3 key objectives for that goal for that year. So, if one objective is that, for example, one of our objectives is that we want to keep giving back. And so one of our goals is to keep giving back. One of those objectives is to keep giving back to our team. One of those is to keep giving back to our clients, and then we also want to keep giving back to our community. So those are the 3 key objectives underneath that goal and for that year. And then in those objectives, I highlight which tasks I'm going to be focusing on for quarter 1. So I've got my 3-year strategy, and I'm picking out what I'm going to do for that 1 year, and then I'm highlighting what those quarter 1 actions are. I work in calendar years because I am not savvy enough to be financial year still. I just prefer calendar years. So mine quarter 1 is January to March. So then I take the highlighted priorities and I've popped those onto Post-it notes, and I've actually got them on the wall across from my office, so from my desk. So I've got 3 doors on the wall across from me, and so I've set it up Kanban board style. So Kanban is basically where you have items that live in different columns and you move them across. So for me, I've got the what's upcoming, and so that's got all the post-it notes for Q1 actions that I haven't started yet. The middle column, or the middle door for me, is work in progress. So that's when a post-it note that I've started working on, I move it across to that one. And then when it's done, I get to move it into that 3rd column. So for me, it's super visual because every time I look up, I get reminded of what are my priorities just for these 3 months. I don't have to worry about or freak out about the big plans and goals and all that sort of stuff. All that stuff is safely in my strategy, but when I look up, I can just see what I need to focus on for these first 3 months of the year, and it's interactive. So for me, it means that I can actually see the progress that I'm making. I can move things across on those columns and go, actually, I am moving forward. And for those post-it notes, those Q1 tasks, some of them are just quite simple tasks, and some of them are bigger projects that, I might break it down into a couple of post-its, but I do have, some things are quite simple, some things are a bit more complex. It's a bit of a mix, but either way, it's whether it's a small thing or a big thing that you're moving across to that done column, it feels really good. Then lastly, I set my recurring appointments. So in my Outlook calendar, I set a weekly check, which is looking at my business plan and choosing the tasks that I'm going to put into my to-do list for that week. Then I have a monthly check, and that's where I actually update the business plan. So that's my OneNote document. So I'll update it. So anything I need to tick off, anything that I might make an extra couple of notes on, anything I might want to change, etc. And I also check if there's any relevant analytics that I need to refer to here as well. Now, this is separate to my monthly management meeting. So the business plan stuff is very much about the bigger goals and the progress. I also do a monthly management meeting where my studio coordinator and I get together and we have a look at things like the profit and loss, the balance sheet, closed jobs, our rolling productivity percentage, those kind of things. That's for the day-to-day running of the business, whereas the business planning to me is that future planning and that moving forward to the bigger picture. And then lastly, I have our quarterly appointment set up for myself, and that's where I do a bigger update of that business plan, and I also select the next quarter's tasks and priorities. So that's how I break down my business planning, how I actually, make sure that I'm actioning it, being reminded of it, and moving forward on it every single week of the year. If you do want to hear more on this, let me know and I'll do something more in depth. I don't know how interested people are in this kind of thing just because I get really excited by it. Other people might find it a complete snooze fest, so I can do something more in depth. But if you are interested, please let me know. And that's for anything that you see for Marketing Margaritas. If there is a topic that we haven't covered that you would love to hear more about, or you have a question that you think would be a great episode, or if we've done an episode on something before and you'd like to know more about it, please hit us up. Please let us know. We can put a link in the show notes on how to contact us. We really value that feedback. And thanks for tuning in. Cheers.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Marketing and Margaritas. Find more free marketing tips, tricks and laughs at rebelnation.com.au.